Sign it now, Olivia. Your sister needs this more than you. My father's voice was cold as he slid the transfer papers across the table, completely ignoring the graduation celebration happening around us. My mother stood beside him, her hand resting on my sister Kate's shoulder, both of them staring at me with expectation in their eyes. I looked down at my fresh MIT diploma, still pristine in its leather holder, then at the stack of legal documents that would sign away everything I'd built over the last 4 years. My hands didn't shake as I picked up the papers, though my heart was racing. No, I said quietly, placing the documents back on the table. My father's face darkened. This isn't a request. Your sister's startup failed and she needs a fresh start. Your little coding projects can be her stepping stone. Little coding projects. That's what they'd always called my work, even after I'd won the university's Innovation Award, even after my AI security system had caught the attention of major tech companies. To them, I was still the quiet daughter who needed to sacrifice for her more ambitious sister. Kate smirked, twirling her designer watch. Bought with our parents' money, no doubt. Come on, Liv. It's not like you're doing anything serious with them. I have actual business experience. Business experience. Right. Her failed fashion app that burned through $200,000 of our parents' money in 6 months. Those patents are mine, I said, my voice stronger now. I developed the AI system myself, spent 2 years perfecting it. I'm not signing anything. My father snatched up my diploma holder, his face red with anger. You ungrateful little. He ripped the diploma in half, the sound cutting through the restaurant's ambient noise. You think you can disobey me, after everything we've done for you? The other diners turned to stare, but I remained calm. 4 years at MIT hadn't just taught me coding, it had taught me strategy. Everything you've done for me? I asked softly. You mean the student loans I took out myself? The part-time jobs I worked while Kate got unlimited credit cards? That everything. Don't you dare, my mother hissed. Your sister has vision, ambition. You just hide behind your computer all day. These patents would be wasted on you. I stood up, smoothing my graduation gown. I think we're done here. If you walk away now, my father threatened, you're no longer part of this family. I looked at them, my father gripping my torn diploma, my mother's disapproving frown, Kate's smug smile, and felt a strange sense of peace. You never saw me as part of this family anyway. I was just your backup plan for Kate's failures. How dare you? Kate shrieked, but I was already walking away. What they didn't know, what none of them had bothered to ask, was that I'd already met with Microsoft's acquisition team yesterday. My AI security system, the one they dismissed as a coding project, had caught their attention 6 months ago. The final meeting was scheduled for tomorrow morning. I pulled out my phone as I left the restaurant, dialing a familiar number. Professor Martinez? Yes, everything went exactly as expected. They tried to take the patents. No, I didn't tell them about tomorrow's meeting. Yes, all the paperwork is ready. I caught my reflection in a store window, still in my graduation gown, but standing straighter than I had in years. Tomorrow, Microsoft would announce their $50 million acquisition of my AI security system. Tomorrow, my family would learn exactly what my little coding projects were worth. But tonight, I had a different celebration in mind. I headed to my apartment, where my real support system waited. My best friend Emma, my roommate Jack, and our study group had planned a small party. People who had actually seen me work through countless nights, debug endless code, and build something revolutionary. As I climbed the stairs to my apartment, my phone buzzed with texts from my family. Dad, you're making a huge mistake. Mom, think about your sister's future. Kate, you'll regret this. I would have made your stupid program actually successful. I silenced my phone without replying. They'd find out soon enough exactly how successful my program already was. Emma opened the door before I could reach for my keys, taking one look at my face and pulling me into a hug. They did exactly what you predicted, didn't they? I nodded, finally letting myself smile. Down to the diploma ripping. Is everything ready for tomorrow? Press release drafted, social media strategy in place, and Jack's got the champagne on ice, she grinned. Ready to shock the tech world, Ms. Future Millionaire? For the first time since the disastrous graduation dinner, I laughed. Tomorrow would change everything, but tonight I was exactly where I belonged, surrounded by people who saw my worth long before any price tag was attached to it. The next morning, I sat in Microsoft's sleek conference room, my torn diploma tucked away in my bag like a battle scar. The acquisition team's lead, Sarah Matthews, reviewed the final paperwork, her expression professional but pleased. "Everything looks in order, Miss Parker," she said, sliding the contracts across the polished table. $50 million, with you retained as lead developer for the next 3 years. Are you ready to sign? I picked up the pen, thinking about how different this felt from last night's attempted coercion. Just one question. The press release goes out immediately after, correct? Sarah nodded. We've coordinated with major tech publications. Your iSecurity system is exactly what the market needs right now. This will be breaking news within the hour. I signed my name with steady hands, each stroke a declaration of independence from my family's expectations. As Sarah gathered the paperwork, my phone started buzzing. News traveled fast in the tech world, and someone had already leaked the acquisition. The first call was from Kate. I declined it, watching as text messages flooded in. Kate. What the hell? $50 million? Kate. You have to share this with a family. Kate, tell me now. My mother's messages came next. Mom, we need to talk about this as a family. Mom, your father is very upset. Mom, you owe your sister a chance to be part of this. I turned off my phone as Sarah led me to the press conference. Cameras flashed as I shook hands with Microsoft's CEO. My little coding project, now headline news. I delivered my prepared statement flawlessly, describing how my AI system would revolutionize cybersecurity for small businesses. By afternoon, my face was on every tech news website. MIT graduates AI innovation acquired for $50 million. Young female developer revolutionizes security tech. Microsoft's newest rising star. Emma met me outside Microsoft's building, holding up her tablet with the headlines. You're trending on Twitter, she grinned. And guess who's been trying to reach me all morning? Let me guess, my family? Your sister called 6 times. She tried to convince me she was your business partner and needed urgent access to your contracts. I shook my head, unsurprised. And my parents? Your dad left a voicemail saying there must be some mistake, that you couldn't have done this alone. He wants to review the deal with his lawyers. We headed to my apartment, where Jack had set up an impromptu celebration. As we walked in, my phone rang again, this time from an unexpected number. Grandma? Olivia, darling, my grandmother's warm voice filled the line. I just saw the news. I always knew you were brilliant, even when your parents couldn't see it. Tears pricked my eyes. Grandma had been the only one who supported my interest in coding, secretly helping me buy my first computer when I was 12. Thanks, Grandma. That means a lot. Your grandfather would be so proud. He always said you had his inventor's spirit. She paused. Your parents are here, raising quite a fuss. They're insisting you tricked Microsoft somehow. I sighed. Of course they are. Don't worry about them, dear. I set them straight. Told them how I've watched you work on this for years while they were busy throwing money at Kate's schemes. Her voice hardened slightly. They're just realizing what they've lost. After talking with Grandma, I finally checked my messages. Among the congratulations from classmates and professors was an email from my father's lawyer demanding a family meeting to discuss the distribution of assets. Emma read the email over my shoulder and snorted. They really don't get it, do they? They think they can still control you. They never saw me, I said, closing my laptop. They were so busy trying to make Kate successful that they missed what was right in front of them. Jack raised his glass. To their massive oversight and your incredible success. As we celebrated, another email came through, this time from a major tech magazine wanting to do a cover story. The subject line read, From MIT to Microsoft, the hidden story of tech's newest millionaire. I smiled, thinking about all the young girls who might read that story, all the quiet students working on their own projects while being overlooked by their families. Maybe my story would help them stand their ground too. Emma squeezed my shoulder, ready to tell your story to the world. I nodded, opening my laptop to reply to the magazine. It was time to step into the spotlight on my own terms, no longer hidden in my sister's shadow. The party continued around me as I typed, my friends' laughter drowning out the constant buzzing of my family's calls. Tomorrow, I would deal with their demands and accusations. Tonight, I celebrated with the people who had believed in me all along. The magazine interview was scheduled at my grandmother's house, a deliberate choice that sent a clear message to my family. As the photographer set up in Grandma's sunlit study, surrounded by photos of my early coding competitions and science fair wins, I heard familiar voices in the driveway. "They're here," Grandma announced, peering through the curtains. "Right on schedule." My parents and Kate stormed up the path, exactly as I predicted. The magazine journalist, Diane, raised an eyebrow. "Are they part of the interview?" "They're about to be," I smiled. "Keep recording." The door burst open, my father leading the charge. "This ends now, Olivia. You're making a mockery of this family." "Please, do explain how my success mocks our family," I replied calmly, gesturing to Diane. "I'm sure the readers would love to hear your perspective." They froze, finally noticing the cameras and recording equipment. Kate's face flushed as she recognized the magazine's logo on Diane's notebook. "You planned this," my mother accused, her voice shaking. "You deliberately set us up." "No, Mom, I'm just done hiding. You wanted to force me to sign over my patents." "Let's talk about that. You ripped up my diploma. Let's discuss why." I turned to Diane. "My family has an interesting view on success. They believe it only counts if it comes from their chosen child." "Olivia, stop this immediately," my father demanded, but Grandma stepped between us. "No, Gregory, you stop. I've watched you dismiss Olivia's achievements for years. You threw money at Kate's failed ventures while Olivia worked part-time jobs to fund her research. Now you want to claim her success. Not happening." Kate sneered, but I caught the panic in her eyes. "You're just jealous because I was supposed to be the successful one. You stole my chance." "Your chance?" I laughed. "You mean like your fashion app that lost $200,000? Or your revolutionary social media platform that never launched? Tell me, Kate, what exactly did I steal from you?" Diane was scribbling furiously, her recorder catching every word. My father noticed and changed tactics. "Sweetheart, we only want what's best for the family. Surely we can discuss this privately. Like how you privately tried to force me to sign away my patents." I pulled out my torn diploma. "Or how privately you destroyed this." The photographer snapped photos as I held up the ripped certificate. "Perfect. The visual would make an excellent addition to the article." "Miss Parker," Diane interjected, "would you say your family's attitude motivated your success?" I considered the question, looking at their faces, my father's controlled anger, my mother's embarrassment, Kate's barely concealed jealousy. Actually, yes. Every time they dismissed my work as little coding projects, it pushed me to work harder. Every time they threw money at Kate's ideas while I took out loans, it taught me financial responsibility. They showed me exactly what I didn't want to become. "You ungrateful," Kate started, but Grandma cut her off. "I think you've all said enough. Olivia has an interview to finish. Unless you'd like to explain to the readers why you tried to steal her patents." They left as abruptly as they'd arrived, my father practically dragging Kate, who was still shouting about family loyalty. Once they were gone, Diane turned to me. "That was intense. Are you okay?" I smiled, genuinely at peace. Better than okay. That was the last tie I needed to cut. The article came out a month later, Tech's Rising Star. The truth behind the success became the magazine's most shared story. My torn diploma, carefully pieced together and framed alongside my Microsoft contract, made a powerful image. The responses flooded in. Emails from young developers sharing similar stories, messages from parents acknowledging their own biases, invitations to speak at tech conferences about overcoming family expectations. Kate tried to launch a rival tech company, but without my parents' funding. They'd finally learned their lesson about throwing good money after bad. It fizzled within weeks. My parents made several attempts at reconciliation, all centered around family unity and sharing success. I declined each one. Instead, I focused on building something meaningful. I started a scholarship fund for overlooked tech students named after my grandmother. Microsoft's faith in my AI system proved well-founded. Within 6 months, it was protecting thousands of small businesses from cyber attacks. 1 year after the acquisition, I sat in my new office, looking at the framed magazine cover on my wall. My phone buzzed with a text from Emma. "Your sister's giving interviews about being your inspiration. Want me to send the receipts?" I laughed, typing back, "Let her talk. Success speaks for itself." My grandmother's words from the magazine article had become my mantra. Success isn't about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. Looking out my office window at the Seattle skyline, I felt nothing but gratitude for every dismissive comment, every undermining action, every attempt to hold me back. They had all become steps on my ladder to success. My little coding project was now an industry standard. My name was respected in tech circles, and my story was inspiring others to stand their ground. Sometimes the best revenge isn't confrontation. It's simply succeeding beyond anyone's expectations, especially your own.